Hey guys, back at you with another updo. This one is much more detailed. So it took me about an hour and a half to do this because I was trying to make sure you guys could see everything. I was trying to make sure that you understood what products I was using and why. So, and then I put the camera right in front of your face. Sorry. So that'll happen a couple random times during this video. I try to cut them out as much as I could. You also see some random cameos because I don't think everybody knew I was recording. But anyways, starting in the back, same doll head from the previous video. This Neuro here, I've got it on 390. And it's just a basic Neuro wand. It's about an inch and a half or so, inch and a quarter, inch and a half. I think it's inch and a quarter. I'm basing my size sections based off of the base of the wand. And I'm just wrapping them all in the same direction towards the left of the doll. So I'm just going to show you this back section quickly. And then when we resume, the next frame will be the doll pretty much curled. But the different thing here is that I'm taking my sections and using a wand and we're flowing them all in the same direction. And then after, you'll see me comb out the curls with the same thermal comb that I'm using here. I'm going to show you that I'm using the wide teeth. And then I'm going to do something a little bit different because I want to show you how to create a bit more volume and texture in your looks and to get that long-lasting, full, 8 to 12-hour look that your bride or your prom person is going to need to last your pictures. So this is awesome for any type of hair texture as far as placement of the curls and what you're doing. So here's where I'm combing it out gently one by one at first. But this is going to give you longevity in your look. So I'm pulling gently at the curl, at all of the rounded spots, and then I'm using my Olive Wild Ginger finishing spray to make it a bit more sturdy and stretch that curl even more and hold it into place. And now I'm actually sculpting the curls to how I want it to lay. What happens is sometimes if we just move on too quickly without doing that, or we brush out the curls too quickly, you get a lot of fall from the curls and it ends up getting flat and or frizzy before their night is over. Or before their reception is even over. And that's the last thing your bride wants. Now, once she starts, really getting into the reception, that's a whole different story. But you want to have at least a good 4 hours or so out of your look, if not longer. And this is how I like to create some longevity within the looks, by stretching the curls and spraying as I get them stretched into the spots that I like. Over that, I would bricklay, same size sectioning, moving up around the head. Obviously, like I said, you're going to see us jumped up. But look how much volume we're getting in comparison to yesterday. Sometimes it makes the guests feel like, wow, I didn't even know I had this much hair. So you don't always need to add extensions. You don't always need to add something else to get that big, voluminous curl look that they're looking for. You just need to take your time, stretch those curls out. And this is where I would have like a trial run. This would be my last look of the trial run to make sure that they're happy with all of this here. So if you watch the other video, you'll see that I started to create an anchor ponytail. Well, here I'm going to do something very similar, but instead it's going to be shown. So we're going to do this 4 times now that we're up here in the top. So I've curled everything from about the parietal ridge down, maybe a little more than parietal. So this section here, I'm looking to create a rounded shape, just like I did yesterday. This is going to be one section that's rubber banded together. I'm going to show you how, since this is going to be shown and not used as just an anchor, how to make that really pretty and still pull at it, but you want it to be nice and protected and look like it belongs in the updo. So combing out, getting it nice and neat, detangled, and dropping them down for you so you can see a little bit better. Trying to show you the size of the ponytail here. We still have tons of hair up top to work with. This doll head's very dense, so it made it very easy to get this big voluminous look here. So I'm combing through again, trying to get it to where I want that ponytail to live. Spraying with the Protect spray first, some Awapui Shine spray this time instead of the finishing, and with that nylon brush again, I'm trying to get a really sleek, soft look here. I'm not looking for it to be really hard quite yet. I'm not really looking for any of this to be hard, but those double rubber bands like I showed you yesterday is very important. Getting that ponytail placement is important because I'm going to break down even clearer how to do that pull through that I showed you on the other one. Again, adjusting to try to help you guys see as best as I can. Limited resources. that I wanted to make sure you could see. So again, nice and neat pony, taking my index finger, sliding it through the middle of that pony so that I can open up here and slide, just flip that rubber band through. And the rest of the ponytail should come through quite easily. I actually cut my nails last night so I wouldn't have the same slurry issues that I had yesterday. There you go. There's our flipped out or flipped under ponytail. So if I kept it like this, it would be okay, but I wanted to stretch it out some. Like I said, I wanted it to reflect that it's going to show through. So I'm holding that ponytail kind of tight, but kind of like a medium tension there, pulling from the side first, and then I'm going to try my best to balance that out on the other side. I want it to look like it's supposed to be there by pulling some of that out. Now, if this was a guest, I'd be asking her, are you comfortable? Is it too tight or anything? 100 times out of 100, they're going to say no, because you're going to know that you're not hurting her because you're putting that ponytail in tight enough that holds, but not to pull her hair. And then here, same thing. I'm going to curl this into 3, try to get it as symmetrical as possible, 3 even sections, because those are going to match my wand choice size. And then I'm going to wrap around, wand it again, and then but I'm going to put a bit more spray here because this is now the top half of our done do, right? So it's going to be very important that this part, if nothing else, actually stays exactly how you want it. So I'm layering the Protect a little heavier here, then the Awapui finishing spray a bit heavier here, still brushing through until it's completely dry before I put that wand in the hair. But again, I'm layering that product a bit heavier here to make sure that those pictures and that look lasts a lot longer. Now, if you have a summer wedding or even a spring or winter wedding and the bride has a backless gown or a sweetheart neck or something like that, she's probably going to get sweaty when she starts really dancing and moving around, depending on how heavy her dress is. Same thing with prom, dancing around, right? So the back of their neck and the upper back will get a little sweatier. So the underneath part, how big it is now, I know sometimes people feel like, oh my gosh, it's huge. Well, that part's going to start to drop naturally, right? From the humidity and from moving around and stuff. So this is going to ensure that her look lasts a lot longer than just about an hour or two. We want her to get married, or we want her to enjoy her prom from start to finish before she feels like, oh my God, I hate my hair, I need to throw it up. But this look is ensuring that even if she does toss it up, there'll still be some curl left. She'll be able to kind of play around with it, maybe like a cute little bun to the side. Maybe one of her bridesmaids or one of her friends at prom can help her with that. This ponytail here also adds a great spot for a veil. Maybe she's not wearing a full veil that's going to come over her face, but she can get that anchored in there so that it's long and drawn over that part of the updo, but then she's still got a done do up above that. It also helps hold those tiara prongs or those tiara combs in place if she were to win or place at prom or winter formal, etc. So I wanted to show you guys a bunch of that so that you have an idea of how to set them up for success. So here I'm showing you 3 sections. The middle one is obviously the widest because we're doing the same little pony action that we just did 3 more times here. So we're actually having 4 ponies flipped inside out. So I'm just showing you again what I'm doing. Again, I apologize for letting that sit right there. I get into work mode here and just start setting things down neatly on my station and forgetting where the lens is. This is not the song I thought, but this will work, I guess. But that's not very promy, so I'm going to change my song back to what we were just listening to, just to keep it moving. Again, center, flip that rubber band inside out, bam, pull just a little bit just to secure where I want that rubber band in place. Now, because of the way that I'm going to secure the front hair that I've left out after it's curled, you don't need to wrap around the hair around these rubber bands necessarily. You can, in the same fashion that I showed you how to do that sleek pony, but here you're just looking for symmetry on both sides and making sure that it's going to lay nice and neat. Now, I did this on both sides. Here you see that one little guy up there that I got a little carried away there with my pulling, so it came out a little bit, but I'm going to show you how to fix that here in just a second. Obviously, I want to secure this pony, wrap this around the wand, so still layering my products, get that nice and neat where I want it, and then I will fix that little loose hair. So remember the hairpin trick I taught you guys yesterday in that previous video? Well, we're going to do it again. So we're going to spray that finishing spray right there. You see it? I'm pointing out to it. We don't like that. That's got to go. A little more finishing spray, hairpin, hold it down using my fingers to kind of hold it in until it dries. And then for extra measure, just going to set that there, and then using my hot wand to make sure that it sets right where I need it to. Finishing up all those curls, I curled the very top section that was left out away from her face, so a little different than the others, so that I can get some leeway here with playing with that placement to hide those partings. And then I'm just gonna sculpt the curl similarly, but around those rubber bands. And I'm gonna use the hairpins to hold them into place until it's dry and I'm happy with my shape. Then I'm gonna spray with the Olive Play finishing spray one more time and the shine spray one last time, making sure that our girl is all ready to go, ready for her pictures. And it's really pretty to get some really good shots of her hair being sprayed. If there's a photographer taking pictures of your bride or bridesmaids, or girl going to prom, or even like a quinceañera or her sweet 16 while you're doing her hair, sometimes there will be some photographers there already at this point. So her hair is done enough that her pictures will look really pretty, because by this time her makeup should be done or almost done. She's got family that's coming around her, or her date, if it's prom, or her dancing partners for her quince, sweet 16. So just thinking about that. And this is me just kind of playing with placement, showing you that you can create shape within the updo as well. I ended up not really liking where that one was, so I ended up kind of moving it around a bit. But because of how secure everything else was, it didn't really disturb anything to take those pins back out. But I'm literally just sitting those hairpins there for holding purposes. They're not going to be there after about 5 minutes. I'm going to take those out so that it's ready to go. And I'm going to show you the done look outside and inside here in just a moment. This is still me playing with it and trying to get that nice cascade that I'm looking for. Again, I ended up not liking that, so I moved it around. But it's really easy to move around when you're working with just the same section that you wrapped around your wand or your curling iron, because you know exactly what shape it is. You know exactly where you want it to go, because it's the same size of the choice of your tool. If I had used my flat iron to make these curls, same thing. I could just spray another section and then reuse that hot tool if I needed to, the smoothing iron, to make it there. Here I decided to go ahead and wrap around that one rubber band that I wasn't going to be able to sculpt because of the way that the front was looking. I was going for more of a braided look, but it just didn't come out the way I wanted. So I just changed it. No big deal. Secured it here. And I didn't even end up using a bobby pin to hold it. I just used that hairpin to hold it in place, sprayed a little bit more hairspray, and then ran my wand over it to secure it there. Again, there's some other fun cameos. You see us all still working, trying to provide some awesome content for you guys, so that you wouldn't be completely bored with just theory over this online content sharing that we're doing for you guys. So again, just trying to finalize my shape and what I'm looking for here, wanting to make sure that I'm happy with it overall. There was a bit of a bump there from me wrapping around the wand, so I just ran it on the top of it just to smooth that part out. Again, separating my curl, try to keep it twisted, working around the curls that I created with the wand, and then just trying to find the proper placement for where I wanted it to go. Spreading out the one from behind there and taking those hairpins once I've sprayed. See, I'm just setting it there to hold. Nothing complicated, just whoop, right on in. And then those will come right out when I'm ready, when I'm happy with the shape. And you'll see our done product here in just a moment. I hope you guys are enjoying my updo tutorials. Updos are some of my favorite things, because they're pictures that last a lifetime. A lot of times you can work it out with the photographers too. If you will share your work, they're taking pictures of your work, and you get some copies of it, and you have beautiful work to show. It doesn't have to be your behind the scenes photo. A lot of times, I don't know if any of you guys follow me, but a lot of times you guys can see me, I will post like behind the scenes in my story, and then when I get the beautiful pictures back, I'll post those as my actual post on my Instagram and Facebook, social media pages, and on the website. So just some fun things to keep your audience engaged and your friends and family to know that you're actually doing something. You're not just, hanging out all day doing hair. You're actually working for a living, and this takes a lot of work. This takes a lot of time. Like I said, this took me about an hour and a half. Normally it would take me about 45 minutes to an hour, but because of me trying to make sure I could show you every single step, I wanted to take some extra time here and really get it together, and do my best to show you exactly how. But just working with different brides, working with different hair textures, different events, this is how I started really getting to love updos. I really didn't like them at first. I was really challenged by them. And then once I let go of the perfectionism of it and just started working with the shapes that I wanted to create and understanding that I could move things around if I didn't like them, it became a lot more fun and a lot less stressful for me. Especially when you turn your bride or your prom person or your quince or sweet 16 girl around and they love, love, love their hair. It's really sweet to see them try not to cry. And it's also really sweet to get the family just like, wow, they look amazing, because most of the time nobody's taken this much hair time on their hair, this attention to detail like they are on their wedding day or prom or sweet 16 or quinceañera. So it's really nice to give that reveal, and then also to stick around to see the date or the dance partner or the groom's reaction when they see them is something that every time is unique, and every time just makes you feel like, wow, I really made their day, or help make their day, I should say. Obviously, getting married or winning prom queen or their birthday is much more important than their hair, but to make sure that they feel beautiful on those days and those events is something that I really, really, really love about our industry and what we get to do for them. So here's our finished look, and I put a little headpiece in there just to show you that you can drape some things over as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you can practice and find time to work on this eventually, if not on break, but when you come back. And yeah, let me know how you thought about this video, and I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy.